कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajaacharya Ashtotar Satarshi Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON VPD Founder Acharya, Savior of the whole world, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajaacharya Ashtotar Satarshi Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। निरंतराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiti. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from 7th canto, chapter 4, entitled Hiranyakashipu Terrorizes the Universe, verse number 14. Jagur Mahindra Asanassa Ojassa Sitam Vishwavasu Stambura Asmada Adhya Gandharva Siddha Rishayostava Muhur Vidyadharascha Apsarascha Pandava Jagur Mahindra Asana Ojassa Sitam Vishwavasus Tumbura Asmada Adhya Gandharva Siddha Rishayostava Muhur Gandharva Vidyadharascha Apsarascha Pandava. Please recite. Jagur Mahindra Sanasocha Sasristam Vishwa Vasustumburu Asmadadhyam. Jagur Mahindra Sanasoja Sasitam Vishwa Vasustumburu Asmadadhyam. Gandharva Siddha Rishayosava Muhur Vidyadharascha Apsarascha Pandava. Gur Mahindra Vidyadharascha Pandavas. Vaishnavis. Jagur Mahindra Sanasya Sasitam Vishwa Vasustumbura Asmadadhaya. Gandharva Siddha Rishayostuva Muhur Vidyadharascha Sasarascha Pandavas. Jagur Mahindra Sanocha Sasitam Vishwa Vasustumbura Asmadadhaya. Gandharva Siddha Rishayostuva Muhur Vidyadharascha Sapsarascha Pandava. Word to word meaning? Jagur Mahindra Sasitam Vishwa Vasustumbura Asmadadhaya. Gandharva Siddha Rishayostuva Muhur Vidyadharascha Apsarascha Pandava. Word to word meaning? Jagu, sung of the glories. Mahindra Asana, the throne of the king Indra. Ojasa, by the personal power. Sitam, situated on. Vishwavasu, the chief singer of the Gandharva. Tumbura, another Gandharva singer. Asmat Adhya, including ourselves, Narada and others, also glorified Hiranyakashipu. Gandharva, the inhabitants of Gandharva Lok. Siddha, the inhabitants of Siddhalok. Rishaya, the great sages and saintly persons. Astava, offered prayers. Muhu, again and again. Vidyadharan, the inhabitants of Vidyadhara Loka. Cha, and Apsaras, the inhabitants of Apsara Loka. Cha, and Pandava, O descendant of Pandu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O Maharaj Yudhishthir, descendant of Pandu, by the dint of his personal power, Hiranyakashipu, being situated on the throne of King Indra, controlled the inhabitants of all the other planets. The two Gandharvas, Vishwavasu and Tumburo, I, myself and the Vidyadharas, Apsaras and sages all glorified prayers to him again and again just to glorify him. Purport. The Asuras sometimes become so powerful that they can engage even Narada Muni and similar devotees in their service. This does not mean that Narada was subordinate to Hiranyakashipu. Sometimes, however, it so happens in this material world that great personalities, even great devotees, can also be controlled by the Asuras. Jai. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Tabadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamischa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamischa Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatade Satarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam tam nate griya kripatam Shri Guru Dinatari Namo Vishnu. Hare Krishna. First of all, I am very grateful to be here again among all the devotees here in Pune after a long time. Time goes very fast, just like 1 year went so fast. I just happened to be here in January and then back here in the month of October, almost like 10 months going to West. So first of all, I seek the blessings of all the devotees so that I can speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam for the glorification of the Supreme Lord and for the purification of my heart and as a service to all of you. Very happy to be here in one sense. Whenever we give classes in West or in US, we hardly have like 8 devotees sitting in temple hall and giving class. Now here seeing so many devotees, gives great joy actually. In our programs, if we have like couple of devotees new enter and come, that gives like, oh, there is hope that we are preaching nicely, there's something happening. Here we do any program actually, and then it's like so many of them just within short period, like, you get 50 devotees, 60 devotees, like that. So after going to West, we really understand, value of each person walking in the temple hall, each person walking in for the program actually. It's like really very inspiring for the preachers actually to see, like, some people are turning up for the event actually. Sometimes when we go, it's like hardly like 5 people, 6 people, they just come up. So due to some reason or the other, it's like, they have exams, they have students have so many responsibilities there. But here somehow people are so keen to take Krishna consciousness that they somehow make time and then they come. So it's like very wonderful to see so many of devotees here. And really, actually, after going to West, one thing I realized, the value of each and every devotee actually. One devotee who is staying in the temple has like great potency, of giving us lot of inspiration. Good? Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So it's like great inspiration just to see one devotee, how they can contribute in our practice of bhakti. That value at least I have increased a lot, within like few months. And we can understand how much each devotee can render so much of services. One devotee coming and staying in the temple becomes like a great opulence for the temple. Even though he is staying for few days or few weeks, it becomes like a great opulence. So here we have like an opportunity of ocean of devotees. When we speak of Pune, we speak like we have 120 brahmacharis here staying in Pune. Every time the other brahmacharis or other feel 120, we hardly have like 10, 12 of us staying together, and there are 120 brahmacharis, and then so much of congregation. We have like 6,000 congregation. The moment we tell 6,000 congregation, they feel, my God, this temple is something which is very amazing. So after coming here, seeing Mangalarti was like amazing. Mangalarti is like Sunday feast. It's like attending Sunday feast, dancing there. Like that, the Mangalarti is there. It's like really wonderful. Coming here and being in the association of devotees, it's like one of the great opulences what we have here. So I really feel, one cannot take these things very cheaply. Of that devotees Sangha means it's really Sangha here. So one should value at least one should value all these things, whatever he is getting. One realizes these things only when one is away from these things, or else he never realizes, what opulences you are in, you will never realize it. Once you are little away, then only you realize it. And I can tell you for sure, it's like something which is very, very amazing to be here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So let us speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse is glorifying, is putting, is showing the situation of Hiranyakashipu, how he is trying to rule this universe actually, and even to such an extent that Narad Muni and many sages and the Gandharva Lokas, Vidyadharas, everyone are put into great anxiety of being under him, glorifying him. So we see why, if you understand the situation of Narada is a pure devotee. Narad Muni is a pure devotee. He is not supposed to come under these obligations. But sometimes the external situations are such that, it happens that, even a pure devotee has to serve under a great demon like, great asura like Hiranyakashipu. And we see this thing has been like, that externally we cannot judge, like what is Narad Muni going through. Narad Muni has been like a pure devotee and is chanting the glories of Lord. But here in this verse we understand that he is glorifying Hiranyakashipu, because the external situation is demanding like that. Sometimes we see in in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this example comes of Sanatan Goswami and Nawab Hussain and Rup Goswami, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. They were serving under Nawab Hussain Shah. So the situation was demanding externally that they had to serve under a king who is, who is breaking 4 regulative principles, who is not ruling properly. But just to serve devotees, Nawab Hussain, Sanatan Goswami and Rup Goswami had to serve under Nawab Hussain Shah. one of the main reason why Narada Muni was serving under Hiranyakashipu is like he wanted to glorify Prahlad. That was the main reason that he was still, under Hiranyakashipu, trying to serve him. And we see this example in Srimad Bhagavatam also, how, great devotees, they always try to do benefit, or they want to do some benefit for the people who are really in a very controlling situation, like Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was there, who was materially blinded and spiritually blinded. But for him, Vidur was ready to serve under him. Vidur knew the situation, that it was not possible actually, that that this situation is not proper for him to stay. But then he was serving just to make Dhritarashtra come to the realization of accepting bhakti, accepting spiritual life actually, more seriously. So Vidur was also serving under Dhritarashtra. We see the example which comes in Srimad Bhagavatam also, is about Akrura. Akrura is serving under Kamsa. Why is it like? Externally, if we see, these kings actually are ruling, and they are demonic kings. They are breaking regulative principles. They are killing the Brahmanas actually. They are killing the cows, and not allowing the worship of Lord Vishnu to take place. But still, these devotees are serving these kings actually. Why? Because just to make a point that, it's very important that, an opportunity comes during their stay, and they may get an opportunity to preach to these kings. And if these kings actually turn up to become a great devotees, then the whole situation can change. So just for taking this opportunity, they are ready to take the risk of serving under these demonic kings. So, in one way, the external situation of these devotees might not be, we cannot judge the situation, like they are serving under a demonic king. But the internal motive is very important. And the faith what they have is that they are always protected by Krishna. Avishya Raksha Bhi Krishna. Krishna is always protecting these devotees actually. So they always have this faith that Krishna, even though they are in such, they are under the demonic king, but still they will always be protected by Krishna. So this is very, very important to understand actually, that externally we cannot judge a devotee in whatever situation we are in whatever situation one is in, one is put in actually. Sometimes we see, like many devotees, they have to go out and serve in such situation where the regulative principles are broken, and the situation demands sometimes they are like prone to do the prescribed duties there. They are working under that situation. So, but the best thing is, if the internal motive is that, if they are trying to preach or something like, then that will be nice. And the devotee should make sure that, he should make a conviction. He should come out of the situation eventually. It's like, how Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami eventually understood that this situation is not at all beneficial for neither for me, neither for the king. Then immediately they took off from that situation, and they accepted this. They completely surrendered to the life, to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if one is put in the situation where externally he is, not properly able to practice bhakti, or he is put in a situation where he has to still do his prescribed duties of working outside in a place where it is not recommended, then he should eventually make a plan and come out of that situation, not to be stuck in that situation for a long time, where his bhakti can go down actually, or he is breaking the principles of of Krishna consciousness. So this is one thing which we wanted to discuss. And other thing was, which I wanted to discuss, was the controlling mentality of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, he had become such a great demon, like how Revatipati Prabhu was telling in this recent Bhagavatam class. He had done the greatest tapasya. As he was telling I was just understanding that in the schools also, we cannot do the punishment what Hiranyakashipu was doing for achieving the kingdom, of raising his both hands for 60,000 years. It's not possible for a human being to do. In our school also, we do hardly for 3 minutes, 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and then we take the break at least. We cannot raise the hands for a long time like this. But Hiranyakashipu was doing for a very long time. And then because he had that very strong tendency of controlling. So this controlling tendency has made him do great amount of tapasya actually, great amount of austerity, that he wanted to rule over this universe. Sometimes it's very astonishing that, how people have this strong ability to do certain things just to achieve their tendency of enjoying, or tendency of controlling, or tendency to grab something, to become the proprietor. It's like very, very astonishing. They can they can do any activities or anything, and they want to achieve that thing. Like Hiranyakashipu here he was doing. So this controlling tendency is very, very strong in every living entity. Actually, this one tendency is the one which makes the living entity think that he's the controller, he's the king actually, he's the master. And because we see this tendency is so very strong, even in our school days also, when we were in the schools, we know that the teacher always appoints a monitor in the class. And as soon as the teacher is not there, the boy, even though if the class is sitting silently, he still becomes like, he wants to show the exhibit his power of controlling. He comes out with a paper and pen, or takes a chalk and writes the name on the board. If anyone is moving here and there, why are you moving? Let me write the name. I have seen this thing happening in my school. They write the name. And then when the teacher comes, we have like greatest fear, we will be beaten or something like that. So small thing also, that boy is our friend, but then he just want to exhibit the power of controlling, controlling that I am the controller. And this controlling tendency is like very, very strong. Even in family, father wants to control the children, wife want to control the husband, and children think they want to control parents by not obeying what they are supposed to be done by the parents. So it's always like, the controlling tendency is very strong in every living entity. We as, any situation you take, this tendency can be exhibited. You go to buy a ticket, on the platform, and then, if you're like, you are in an emergency that you want to buy, and there are two persons, you are requesting, let me go. Bole, no, you cannot go. And then when they see that, you are requesting again and again, then they tell, okay, let me see. And after few seconds or few minutes, they allow us to go ahead and get the ticket also. Like they have this tendency, unless and until you become subordinate, you become humble, they don't allow to, they have that exhibition of controlling, that I am in control, like, this line, you cannot go ahead of me. So, this controlling tendency is very, very strong in every living entity. And we see this thing is exhibited in many situations. Throughout the day also, if you observe, you can judge yourself also how much you are controlling others, or how much you are getting affected by this thing. So this tendency only can be changed when one is in the mood of serving actually. Controlling tendency can be just changed when we are in the mood of serving. When we are not in the mood of serving, then it's very, very tough actually. And this tendency, creeps in when we are practicing bhakti also. As a devotee also, we want to control many things. We want to control situations around us. We want to control the devotees around us. We want to control, many things actually. But, it's very, very difficult actually. But the great joy comes when we are actually we become subordinate and we get controlled by others. And, when we are serving, then that joy is very, very different actually. Serving under the authorities is like one of the greatest blessings for a devotee. If he does that, then that is the best thing actually. If he doesn't, then we understand that he has his own, own way of controlling the things around and other things like that. And that is very, very detrimental. Then the advancement in bhakti becomes very stagnant actually, if one is trying to exhibit the power of controlling things around. So this was what I was thinking, and today is very auspicious day of Narottama Das Thakur's disappearance day. So wanted to discuss few pastimes from Narottama Das Thakur's life. It's like he's a greatest acharya actually in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and he was the one who brought this teachings, back to life in Keturi and others by preaching very strongly. So Narottama Das Thakur, before even his birth, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had exhibited how great is his devotee. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling to Vrindavan, and during his first visit to Vrindavan, he happened to go till Ramkeli and meet Sanatan Goswami and Rup Goswami. And after going that, taking his suggestion that, Sanatan Goswami, at the end of the meeting, he tells that, it's not good, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that, you travel to Vrindavan with so many of devotees around with you. So, taking his consideration, still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes till Kane Natshala. And when he is at Kane Natshala, he sees in the direction of where the Padma river is there, and he starts chanting the name Narottam, 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 very strongly with great ecstatic love. He is chanting Narottam, Narottam, Narottam. And seeing this, all devotees become stunned. Who is this Narottam? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is chanting his name. And then eventually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Nityanand Prabhu that, I want to deposit the love of Godhead in the river Padma. And, when Narottama Das Thakur comes here, you should make sure that he goes and bathes in Padma river and he gets love of Godhead. So I will deposit my love of Godhead in river Padma. And then the river Padma, she personifies and she asks Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how will I understand that? Who is Narottama Das Thakur? Well, you need not worry. As soon as he enters, you will feel the ecstatic love, and there will be a flood in the river actually. Then you can understand that Narottama Das Thakur has appeared. So by this we can understand that all devotees were just waiting for Narottama Das Thakur. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed from this world, Narottama Das Thakur, he takes birth during that time, after that. And this is where he takes birth in Keturi. His father and mother is Krishnanandat and Narayani. It is told that Narayani was such a great mother that she could see, because she was hearing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and others, she could see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and others associate sometimes in her dreams and other things like that. And then when Narottama Das Thakur had taken birth, and everyone was so attracted because of his godly qualities. Everyone was feeling so attracted to him. And he was making the atmosphere very happy because Krishnanandat was the king and the king was not having any son. And eventually Narottama Das Thakur had come actually. And then, so during the Annaprasan ceremony which was taking place, they brought all, wanted to feed Narottama Das Thakur, Narottama Das, some few grains. And, all the village, they had gathered to see this beautiful ceremony. But then what happened? When they brought the grains in front of the baby to eat this thing, the child was refusing. He was just turning away or showing very bitter face that he will not accept anything. And seeing the situation, everyone was feeling very sad. What has happened? And then eventually what had happened was, an astrologer was there and he could predict that, this child is a devotee of Lord and he cannot accept anything which is not offered to the Lord. So then immediately they offered the grains to Lord Krishna, and then after that they after that when Narottama was given the grains, he immediately accepted with great heart. And this shows the characteristics of Narottama Das Thakur, that he was such a godly character actually, that without offering, he cannot accept anything. And then after that, Krishnanandat immediately made a rule that nothing should be offered to my child without being offered first to Lord Krishna. And then this was followed every time. So we see this example that, how great souls exhibit this quality. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had just eaten a mango, without offering. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur just casually told, was not like instructed. He just casually told that, it was not offered to Krishna and you accepted. And, it's something wrong, it's like, which we cannot accept. And immediately he had taken a vow that I will not eat anything, from this day I will never eat mango. And whenever he used to see mango, it was like, he used to curse that I was an offender of Krishna. So this was the great quality of great devotees actually. And then Narottama Das Thakur, when he was a young boy, he always had an opportunity to hear about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates by a great devotee called Krishna Das. Krishna Das was a lover of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he knew Chaitanya Charitamrita. He read everything about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, he heard about all the pastimes. And then he used to come and he used to tell Narottama Das Thakur about all the associates about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, about Nityananda Prabhu, about their pastimes, everything he was telling. And this increased the love of Narottama Das Thakur toward Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And every time he used to hear about the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to feel that when will an opportunity come that I will go and associate with them. Especially he was attracted towards one great personality, that was Srinivas Acharya. When he heard about the story of Srinivas Acharya, that Srinivas Acharya was, wanting to go and have darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he started his journey and then he went towards Navdeep, and then when he came towards Jagannath Puri, he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had left. And then he became so sad that he was crying, weeping at the entrance of Jagannath Puri. And then eventually when he went towards Jagannath Puri, he met Gadadhar Pandit. And then he wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. And then Gadadhar Pandit told that I can tell you Bhagavatam, but the Bhagavatam what I have has been, erased because of the tears flowing from constantly by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And then, you have to get a Bhagavatam, and that Bhagavatam is available in Mayapur, Navdeep. So he went to Navdeep, got it handwritten Bhagavatam, and then he brought it. By the time he entered again, the news came to him that Gadadhar Pandit left this world. And then again he was crying, feeling a separation from this great soul. And then when he eventually went to Vrindavan, he came to know that, Rup Goswami Pad has left the world. Sanatan Goswami Pad has left this world. So, and he was feeling great separation, that what great amount of separation this Srinivas Acharya is feeling from meeting great souls actually. And Narottama Das Thakur, when he was hearing this story, he had great attraction towards him, that, when will an opportunity come that I will be able to meet such great devotees. The principle is very clear here, that you want to increase your affection towards devotees or Krishna. Hearing is such an important aspect actually. Unless and until we hear, it's not possible that, we can develop this feelings toward Lord or his devotees. Narottama Das Thakur exhibited this quality of hearing, this quality of affection towards devotees is just because he was hearing. And hearing is like such an important aspect. Shravanam is one of the main aspects for a devotee. If he doesn't give, Shravanam importance, then it's very, very, very difficult for the devotee that, he will be able to, advance in his bhakti actually. It's very important, we have, especially, here coming to Pune, I always feel that this is a place where we get a great opportunity to hear so much, but other places, this thing is, the facility is not there. Somehow we have Radheshyam Prabhu who is always creating some program or the other for, making that, we are always hearing the message of the Lord actually. But it's like, and it's very, very important. If we don't take this process very seriously about hearing, then we cannot expect that, we will develop affection and, feelings towards the Lord, or, to know more about the Lord. So it's very important for us to understand this thing. Okay, hearing is very, very important. And then Narottama Das Thakur exhibited that, he could hear, he could, just by hearing, he was developing such affection towards Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. So one day in the evening when he was taking rest, he had a dream of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in that dream, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come, and he was so struck with great ecstasy that, he got darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at the end, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that, you should go and take bath in the river Padma tomorrow. And then after that, he just woke up, and then he was not able to sleep because he was in such an ecstatic emotion that he got the darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then eventually when he fell asleep during that night, again Nityananda Prabhu came. And he told the same instruction, go to Padma river tomorrow morning and take bath in Padma river. And then eventually when he was again feeling such great ecstasy in the heart that he was not able to sleep, again he slept, and few more associates actually came and told that he should go to Padma river tomorrow morning. And then eventually when next day morning came, he went to river Padma and took bath. in the river Padma. And as soon as he took bath in the river Padma, he was feeling the great ecstasy of prema bhakti actually, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had deposited for earlier during his visit. And he was feeling such great ecstasy. He was always during that time he was just chanting the name of Krishna. He was in such an ecstatic emotion that he was just crying, rolling on the ground with tears in his eyes. He was just rolling on the ground. And hour after hour he was doing that thing. And he was away from his home for a very long time. And eventually when he had come, his parents started searching that where did this, our boy went, And they were searching everywhere. They had sent messengers all over the village and everything like that. And they were not able to find where is Narottama. And eventually someone found that a boy is rolling on the ground on the bank of Padma river, crying and calling the name of Krishna, 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 Gaurang Mahaprabhu. And then during that time they could understand that this boy is none other than our Narottama. And then after taking bath in Padma river, before taking bath his bodily complexion was brownish. But then after taking bath he got the color of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He became like molten gold actually, and he was very, very effulgent after taking bath in river Padma. And then, after that he was feeling such great separation from the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that every day he was hankering that when will an opportunity come that, he will go and associate with the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was just hankering every time. And he was praying to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, please, remove me from all the clutches of this material world. And in fact, during that time, seeing the situation in what Narottama Thakur was there, it is told that they were Krishnanand Dutt and Narayani, they made that he was always guarded with soldiers. Never a point was there that he was left alone. Because they knew that the moment he is alone, he will escape and he will go to Vrindavan or some other place where his associates are there. Speaking about river Padma, I remember one time, Indradumna Maharaj tells this very beautiful pastime of what had happened. So he was coming from this Bangladesh Yatra, and he had gone with Radhanath Maharaj and few of the devotees. And after having very nice discussion about the Yatra, and they were discussing about Narottama Thakur and other things, they went to the river Padma, and then they had taken bath there. They were feeling so ecstatic. They had very wonderful Kirtan and everything like that. And after taking bath and everything, Maharaj thought that let me take, that many devotees will not be able to travel and come to the river Padma. Let me take a bottle and then fill the bottle of this Krishna Prem, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had deposited. Let me take that thing and, I can distribute to so many of the devotees. So he took the bottle and he filled it with the Padma river water, and then he was going. And then at the time when he had boarded the flight, he went to a place called, I think, Abu Dhabi or somewhere in Qatar, I think. Some place he mentions, I'm not remembering. And then when he landed on the airport, he was there with devotees. He was there with one of his devotee, and then he was standing in the queue for his check-in. And during that time, they have like water bottles and other things like that. So a Muslim guy, an old Muslim guy, he asked Maharaj that Maharaj was holding the bottle very closely, as if it's like great treasure. And then he asked, this person asked, that Muslim guy asked, do you have some water? Can I have some water? And then Maharaj was very slow, obliged that, somehow he has to give the bottle, he did not have anything else. And then he took the bottle and then gave it to that person. And then that person opened the bottle and he started drinking. And he was like drinking like half. Maharaj was sitting, now at least he'll stop. It almost like just very little was left, and then he stopped, and Maharaj was like, oh my God, at least something got saved actually. And his desire to that, okay, at least I have got the original river water actually, what is there. And eventually, Maharaj was later on telling that how Gaurang Mahaprabhu's mercy can affect anyone. Even that person, he never knew about love of Godhead or anything, but now he has drank the water from the river of Padma. Now it is for sure that he will achieve, his life will be perfected just by drinking that water actually. And it will be like such a static thing for him. And he was telling in one of the classes that, I feel there will be a great transformation in his life after drinking that water. So I was just remembering that Padma river water is like very, very wonderful. It's almost like 9 o'clock, and many devotees have told that they want to ask some questions. So I don't know whether we should end here or not. But I'll end with one pastime of Narottama Das Thakur within a couple of minutes, and then we can have some discussions. One is one beautiful pastime about Narottama Das Thakur is about his initiation. His initiation has been always been the when he went to Vrindavan, it was like such a great journey that as soon as he went to Vrindavan, it was like he was filled with great ecstasy. That he was able to meet such great devotees. When he went to first he went to Vishwambar Ghat at Vrindavan. And there he saw one Brahman was crying, and he came to know from that Brahman that just recently, Rupa Goswami Pad and Sanatan Goswami had left this world. And then he was feeling great separation, Narottama Das Thakur, and he started crying. And eventually that Brahman suggested that you should go to Vrindavan actually. And then when he travels to Vrindavan, he goes to the place of Radha Govinda Dev, and he starts taking darshan of Radha Govinda Dev, and he starts crying like anything. But before that, what happens is, Rupa Goswami Pad comes in the dream of Srinivas Acharya, who is residing in Vrindavan. And he tells that one of the best devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is going to come tomorrow. And he will be coming at Govinda Dev temple. So you should go and meet him. And he will be your lifelong friend. So as soon as he hears, he becomes very ecstatic. And that is none other than Narottama Das. So and then immediately he goes and informs about this dream to Jiva Goswami. And by the time Jiva Goswami and Srinivas Acharya, they come to Radha Govinda Dev temple, they feel great joy by seeing Narottama Das Thakur. In fact, they have heard about Narottama Das Thakur, and now seeing Narottama Das Thakur actually, living there in Radha Govinda Dev temple gives great joy. And after, they reunite with each other. Narottama Das Thakur was always feeling great separation from Srinivas Acharya, and now their first time meeting. So that meeting was super ecstatic, they're like two of the old friends meeting each other for a very long time. And then eventually their hearts get bonded with each other. And eventually Jiva Goswami takes Narottama Das Thakur to different places. He takes to Radha Gokulan temple, where Loknath Goswami is serving Radha Vinod. And then he makes him meet Narottama Das Thakur. And as soon as Narottama Das Thakur sees Loknath Goswami, he from his heart feels he is my spiritual master, and I should genuinely surrender to him. And then eventually he asks that, please Loknath Goswami, please accept me as your disciple. But Loknath Goswami had taken a vow, internal vow, that he will never accept a disciple. And it's like sometimes, great saints, when they take a vow, it's very difficult that, to convince them to break that vow. And somehow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come in the dream of Loknath Goswami and told him that you should accept Narottama Das Thakur as a disciple. And then eventually Loknath Goswami tested Narottama Das Thakur for his attachment to him for almost an year. It was not that just as soon as he came to Vrindavan, though he is coming from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special merciful devotee, but that he will be getting initiated. And Narottama Das Thakur, as we know, he was serving Loknath Goswami in any way and whatever way he can. So Loknath Goswami was such a great soul that he was not ready to accept any service from anyone. In fact, we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita also that he never accepted, when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami comes and asks blessings that, please give me blessings so that I can glorify the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his activities. He tells, I'll give you the blessings only when you don't mention my name anywhere in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you will never find Chaitanya Charitamrita having a discussion of Loknath Goswami, even though Loknath Goswami's pastimes are very beautiful actually. So he never wanted to accept any service. And Narottama Das Thakur wanted to serve Loknath Goswami somehow or the other. So he wanted to find an opportunity, and then he found out that, every day Loknath Goswami goes to a place and goes and attends his nature call. So let me go and clean that place. So every day for an year actually Narottama Das Thakur was cleaning that place in the night when no one was watching. And Narottama Das Thakur was not going and watching or doing this thing in the daytime or something like that. He was doing it just to have his relationship with his spiritual master. And he was not expecting that someone will recognize or not. He in his heart knew that, whatever service I am doing, it is for the pleasure of my spiritual master, Loknath Goswami. And then eventually Loknath Goswami understood that someone is cleaning this area every day. And eventually one day he hides in the bushes. And in the night he finds that Narottama Das Thakur, one of the great devotees actually, is doing this service actually. And then he immediately catches him and he tells, you are a prince actually. You are not supposed to do all these things. And the answer what Narottama Das Thakur gives is very wonderful. This is the great opulence what I am collecting actually. So we can understand service to a great soul or service to a spiritual master is one of the great opulences in a life of a disciple. If he is able to do that thing, it's like one of the best thing what can disciple can get. We see in the life of Srila Prabhupada also. He grabbed one instruction of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He took one instruction and that service became an opulence actually for Srila Prabhupada. And that became such a great thing that he got benefited and he benefited the entire world actually by giving Krishna consciousness. So Narottama Das Thakur had such a great humble attitude that he exhibited, and eventually that day only Loknath Goswami decided that next day I am going to give you initiation. That melted the heart of Loknath Goswami. And eventually Loknath Goswami accepted Narottama Das Thakur as his disciple. And he kept him under the care of Jiva Goswami. And during that time Jiva Goswami gives training to Srinivas Acharya, Narottama Das Thakur and Shyamanand Pandit. They three together actually have been taught the principles and bhakti and all about the bhakti principles, Krishna conscious principles. And eventually the books, yes. So eventually today, being the disappearance of Narottama Das Thakur, we should pray that, we should at least develop some humble attitude like what he have, some great eagerness in the heart for achieving bhakti, the amount of eagerness what we had to associate with devotees, so that we can take the association of devotees very seriously and, achieve love of Godhead by just praying at his lotus feet. Srila Narottama Das Thakur ki jai. So now we have some, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, after reading Srila Prabhupada Leelamrut, I have deep gratitude for Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. Prabhupada make this bhakti very practical, applicable, and created a lot of services. So when reading Prabhupada Leelamrut multiple times, I am searching the devotee's name in the internet, that what the devotee is doing. Because when Prabhupada left this world in 1977, that time everything is vibrant. But once Prabhupada left his body, there is a lot of declination in the West. And many disciples of Srila Prabhupada trying to revive everything. So difficult. So what is the problem? Everything is vibrant, many Western disciples helping Srila Prabhupada, serving them. And what is the reason it's called decline in the Western world? Many disciples go in the seclusion, they shifted to India, and even very difficult to understand. So what is the problem? You stayed there for more than 1 year, you observe, you meet so many Prabhupada disciples, you serve them personally, and you also share your experiences. So what is the main reason why it got declination and India get flourishing?
The main thing is, I can tell you, few reasons why, especially when an Acharya actually, when he leaves this planet, then there is always some vacuum which is created. And that vacuum cannot be filled by anyone actually. And during that time, Prabhupada disciples who were serving under him, they did not feel that connection. Though many were following the principles very nicely, many were practicing the bhakti, many were practicing Krishna consciousness. But the only reason is one of the main reasons is the immature dealings of devotees during that time, especially the leaders, what had taken place. Because of that thing, many Prabhupada disciples got disturbed and they left. But they're still practicing. It's not like they are not practicing. There are many devotees who are there, whom we may not know, but many are actually practicing in whatever situation they are in. I have recently heard about one Mataji actually. She's in Vrindavan, and her age is 83, and she's like trying to serve Srila Prabhupada. She's a Prabhupada disciple, and she's trying to serve Srila Prabhupada. And the temple in which she was serving, the management did not allow her to come to the temple. After serving for 40 years in the temple, the management did not allow her to come to the temple. So she was feeling that how she can serve. So she knew that she can serve. Her attraction for serving the deities was so much that she started purchasing many jewelry for the deities, and she was sending to the deities. So they wanted to serve, but somehow or the other they make an opportunity to serve actually. And one thing is that the vacuum which was created by after Srila Prabhupada was very strong, and the material nature is also very strong there. It's not very easy that you can practice all bhakti by yourself. So you need association of devotees, but somehow the association of devotees was not so conjugal during that time. But now it's very strong. And if you go to Alachua temple, there are around 300 Prabhupada disciples who are living there. 300 proper disciples. When you go to morning program there for Mangal Aarti, around 50 of them, they are very elderly, but still 50 of them actually come and attend morning program there. So if you go to LA, LA it's like got around 25 to 30 proper disciples who are living and serving Rukmini Dwarkadish. Still they are serving, every day they are like, we at least have only 2 time dressing. They have 3 time dressings. In afternoon also they, change the dress of Rukmini Dwarkadish. And still they are serving. All proper disciples only, they come and dress actually. There are Rukmini Dwarkadish. So they have kept the standard actually. Whichever proper disciples have stuck to the place, they have kept the standards very high actually. So that was the best thing, we can see. We can learn from the examples. And Prabhupada also told this thing, don't be surprised by who leaves actually. Be surprised by who is staying here and practicing. So we can hear from this statement also, that if devotees are sticking and practicing the basics of bhakti, chanting, hearing, associating with devotees, then they become strong eventually. Situations may come or may change actually. Like in the same situation, Narad Muni actually, he is in a situation where Hiranyakashipu, he is glorifying Hiranyakashipu. In one way, if we see a pure devotee is glorifying a demon. But the situation, external situation is like that. So sometimes the situation, the material world acts in such a way that, it's very difficult for us to judge a pure devotee, how it acts. So, like how Prabhupada disciples also, they might have gone through many different phases in their lives. When Prabhupada was there, they were very ecstatic, very jubilant actually. They gave their 100%. There was not a single Prabhupada disciple who never gave 100%. But now the time is there, that they could not do for certain period of time. But now whenever they get an opportunity, they glorify Prabhupada with great love and affection actually. And we cannot judge the amount of love they have towards Prabhupada. It's amazing. Sometimes I was just hearing from Amok Lila Prabhu. He's like a book distributor, and whenever he meets anyone, in between his, he meets anyone, he gives a book. He always speaks about Prabhupada. He speaks about the philosophy. Any person he meets walking outside the temple, and he always has books. That much dedication they have. That I cannot deliver, but Prabhupada books can deliver. So anyone they meet, they always give Prabhupada books. We had Amok Lila Prabhu, right, for our Sangha there in New York. So we can learn from them, the love and affection what they have towards Prabhupada is immense and very great. Sometimes they might be ups and downs, but what they have now is very great. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Samveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Hare Krishna. Srila Narottama Das Thakur ki Jai.
हरे कृष्ण. करताल अंतरती प्रभू पहिली बार गा थोड़ा आशीर्वाद दे. हरे कृष्ण. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दकुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं. यशोदाभियोलुकलाधवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तो द्रोतुतगोप्या. यशोदाभियोलुकलाधवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्त रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्ममृजन्तं कराम्बुजयुग्मेन सातकनेत्रं. मोश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिपदं. मोश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्तिपदम्. इति द्वक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम्. इति द्वक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम्. तदीयेषु तज्ञेषु भक्तिर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे. तदीयेषु तज्ञेषु भक्तिर्जितत्वं वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवदिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेशदपिह. वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवदिं वा इदन्तेव पुरनाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनश्च वीरास्तकिमन्ये. इदन्तेव पुरनाथ गोपालबालम् इदन्ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तशगोप्या. इदन्ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तशगोप्या. मोशुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनश्शवीरास्तमालं लक्षलाभे. मोचुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे नमो देव दामोदरानन्तविष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालब्धिमग्नम्. नमो देव दामोदरानन्तविष्णो
प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालनिमग्नं कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणि क्षमामद्यं मे दक्षिदृश्य कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणि क्षमामद्यं मे दक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वत् त्वया मूर्जितो भक्तिभाजो कृतोच्च कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वत् तथा प्रेम भक्तिं त्वकां मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे गृहमेऽस्ति दामोदरेह तदा प्रेम भक्तिं त्वकां मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे गृहमेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्तेऽस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वशदाम्ने नमस्तेऽस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वशदाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं यशोदाभियोलुकलादवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तद्रुतगोप्या यशोदाभियोलुकलादवमानं हरे कृष्ण गोप्या हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
हरे राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe
Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Shri Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan ki jai Damodarastakam ki jai. Translation. English. आपको पढ़ने आता है? पढ़ने आता है आपको? हाँ? अच्छा. You want to read? Or should I read?
I'll read one project. I'll read the smallest.
हाँ, later initially. ये कितना? To the Supreme Lord whose हरिवल दिख रहा नहीं है. Very small font. बहुत छोटा है ये वो छोटे से है लेकिन ये लाइट है लाइट थोड़ा डार्क लाइट लेकिन लोग बोर हो जाएंगे ये क्या पढ़ रहा है कि नहीं Hare Krishna translation. To the Supreme Lord whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into the butter and stealing the butter that was kept hanging from his swing, he is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in a fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again. With his two lotus hands, his eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound with not with ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as these, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is the only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all concepts of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times. कौन सा पढ़ोगी? कौन सा वाला? 6th. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of liberation, impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikunta, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bal Gopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use of me of any other boon besides this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are no use to me.
O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. You, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, please be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Damodara, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby, tied with a rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer my obeisances to you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who displays ultimated pastimes, unlimited pastimes. Damodar Bhagwan ki jai.
Arjuna ki jai.